wide to score Taylor's last 5. So give it to an open Abby Book for 3. And Taylor leads for the first time today.
Good afternoon and welcome here inside Odell Arena on the campus of Taylor University for this afternoon's women's basketball Crossroads League matchup between the Grace Lancers and the number 8 Taylor Trojans. It is senior day this afternoon, and the Trojans will honor their 3 seniors, Kendall Bradbury, Aubrey Wright, and Lacey Garrett, with the 3 men's seniors in between our doubleheader today. A lot on the line today for Taylor as a team and a lot individually riding for Kendall Bradbury. She comes in 23 points away from 2,700 in her career, but she's only 9 away from breaking the all-time Crossroads League career scoring mark held by current assistant coach Natalie Young, who achieved that status when she was a player for current Taylor head coach Jody Martinez back at Bethel. Kendall had 40 in Taylor's dominating 89-64 win on Wednesday at Goshen. Grace comes in with a lot to play for as well. Taylor, with a win today, would wrap up at least a share of the Crossroads League regular season title. It would be just their second Crossroads League regular season title in history. Their first one came back in 1996. But more importantly, a win today would secure the number 1 overall seed for the Taylor women's basketball team in the Crossroads League tournament, which starts next week. We'll take a break really quick. We'll come back. We'll hear from the head coach, Jody Martinez, here on the Marion General Hospital pregame show here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Back here on the Marion General Hospital pregame show, it's senior day for the Taylor women's basketball team as they honor their 3 seniors, Kendall Bradbury, Aubrey Wright, and Lacey Garrett. And to talk about those 3 seniors and the win over Goshen this past Wednesday, we're now joined by the head coach of the Trojans, Jody Martinez. Let's go back to Wednesday. Your win streak continues. You haven't lost since the end of November. What went right Wednesday at Goshen?
You know, I just felt like we had great focus at the beginning on both ends, and it also helps to hit some shots to get some confidence going. And you could tell we just had a good energy, and the starters set the tone on both sides of the floor, and and of course Kendall had one of those moments where she wasn't missing. So it was good. It was just good. It was fun for them, and take another game off the schedule and down to one game and a lot at stake. And I just think the girls just wanted to send a message that we're focused.
Second 40-point game of Kendall's career. She had 41 to break the single-game scoring record. Last season against Olivet Nazarene, she set the record as a freshman, or broke the record as a freshman. She had 40 on the nose Wednesday at Goshen. So you've seen her have a couple different games. She had 30-plus, close to 40 in that tournament, went over Indiana Wesleyan last year. You've seen her kind of get dialed in like she was on Wednesday a couple times. What's it like to watch it from the front row of the floor?
Well, I just it's just not Kendall that's fun to watch when she's like that. It's the teammates that know she's feeling it and work so hard to get her the ball. I mean, it's just the unselfishness of this team, and everybody knows how my philosophy is on role playing, and Kendall's job is to score. And there's a few other people that get options to score too, but Kendall's main priority is scoring. It's not defense. It's not stealing the ball. It's not blocking shots. It's that's your job, buddy. And then you got other people like Lacey. Your job's to break press, push the ball up the court, transition, hit the open man. You got Aubrey, who's got a dual role, and it's mainly on defense with what's called chase, and then she's starting to be more confident with her shooting skills. So you got a whole package deal. But Kendall was definitely in a zone, and it goes for anybody. Whoever starts getting to a zone, it's kind of like when you watch Golden State and you just want to see Curry score every single time. And, well, that's what it's like for us, too. Everybody wants to see Kendall score every single time she touches it. And reality is she's human. She's not going to score every time. So, she missed the easiest shot of the game, which was a layup, but then she hit some, tough kickback threes and spin moves and all this stuff. So you never know what's going to happen with her.
There'll be a lot of people obviously pulling for her to get some buckets today. She comes into the game 9 points away from setting the all-time career scoring mark in the Crossroads League. It's held currently by someone that you know very well. It's your assistant coach, Natalie Young, who was a flat-out stud for her 4 years at Bethel. Mm-hmm. So you go from coaching, you're going to probably by the end of the day coach the top 2 scorers in league history. Have you had a chance to maybe sit back and think of just kind of how lucky you've been as a head coach with 4 years with Natalie as a player and 2 years with Kendall?
Yeah, I mean, what a blessing as a coach to have, I guess it's called an accolade, but it's more of a blessing to, be the guy that witnessed it. Natalie was an outstanding All-American at Bethel and, 4 years impact player. And Kendall, only having her for 2 years, but, the impact she's made on Taylor's campus for 4 years has been remarkable. But to have coached right now the top 2 scorers in the history of Crossroads, it's just gives you kind of goosebumps, like, man, I coached them, So kudos to Kelly Packard for her, just her recruiting Kendall and opening up the doors for Kendall to come to Taylor. So, to me, I know this team's been very successful with Kendall's production and her teammates' production, but, Coach Kelly Packard needs a lot of credit for assembling most of these players that's on this current roster.
The 3 seniors, they were her second recruiting class here at Taylor of Kendall, Aubrey, and Lacey. You had a chance to obviously meet Kendall and Aubrey when you and your wife Sonia met the 2 of them along with Cassidy and Josie during the hiring process, which feels like 5 years ago, but was just a little over almost 2 years ago or so. What's it been like to coach these 3 young ladies over the last 2 years when you first saw them play for the very first time after you got hired back in May of 2017 all the way up till now?
Well, it's a credit to those 3 for what they've gone through, 3 coaches. When we met them the first time, actually, we met them at Ivanhoe's, and so that was a good start to that relationship. Gained a lot of pounds since that meeting, too. Anyway, you can just sense the passion when we had that meeting with the 4 players of how much they wanted a change of probably style, more maybe intensity. I mean, people who see me coach know I'm intense, and I think what they've done from day one till now is they kind of matched that intensity as well as accepted the reality of this is who I am as a coach, and I love you, but I'm also going to be in your face kind of thing. And it's just preparing them for life, because the game of life is not going to be easy. And I'm not going to make this easy for you. I'm going to build you up and tear you down and build you back up. And that's part of the edification process as believers. We want to build our believers up. And so I want to build them up as players and humans and just get ready for what's ahead of them. And I think those 3 seniors that we're recognizing today have responded very well to it. And, I'm so happy for Lacey. You go from me coming in and you started some games before I got here and then didn't play much as a junior. and worked her tail off to get a starting spot. And you're the starting point guard for this successful team we have right now. And then you got Aubrey, who's willing to do anything and everything, go from point guard last year to the 2-guard slot. And then you go to Kendo and say, hey, you need to work on your three-point shooting, you need to work on these things and continue to be that scoring threat. Because here is a girl averaging over 20-some points and gets double-teamed, triple-teamed in many games, and she still can produce. So it says a lot about them and the teammates.
Last thing is we talk with Taylor women's basketball head coach Jody Martinez as they get ready to take on Grace here this afternoon in the regular season finale. The Lancers gave you everything you could handle when you squared off with them up in Winona Lake. It took the buzzer beater falling down heave from Becca Books to win it and keep the winning streak alive. How has Grace gotten better since then? They had a big win over Huntington this week, and they're fighting for their playoff lives. They're right there, and with an opportunity with a win today, they could end up in the 4th spot and host a first-round game next week.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot at stake for them to come in on fire. They've been playing very well. When we had beaten them, they had a 5-game winning streak or something, and then Marion got them, and then they, like you said, beat Huntington pretty easy. Last time we played them, I was watching film. We got up early on them, 9-0, and then we had opportunities to go up 12-0, 15-0. We just missed some open shots, and we were getting shots. We just didn't hit, and then their confidence, they had a kid come off the bench who, wasn't shooting very well, and she ended up having 18 on us. And since that game, she's been 1 for 12. So, you gotta be able to be careful. You have a target on you, so no matter who we're playing, it doesn't matter what their record is or what position they are in the conference. You're playing the best team, so everyone's going to give you the best effort, and that's how we have to counter that and make adjustments. We got to stay composed. These players have never been in a situation to have an opportunity to win conference, and so the pressure is being self-imposed on them because we're trying to make things relaxed in practice, staying focused. We had a very intense practice yesterday. We never talk about the winning streak, but it's social media and it's society. They know about it. But I won't talk about the winning streak at all. And what I do talk about is, we're not only playing for conference stuff, we're playing for a national seeding position. Because the higher you are in the rankings, the better your position is in the bracket. And so,
at guard, a 5'11" junior from Angola, Indiana, number 40, Abby Books. At guard, a 5'11" junior from Angola, Indiana, number 44, Becca Books. At guard, a 5'7" senior from Columbia City, Indiana, number 14, Aubrey Wright. At guard, a 5'7" senior from Crawfordsville, Indiana, number 22, Lacey Garrett. And finally at forward, a 5'11" senior from Highlands Range, Colorado, number 32, Kendall Bradbury. Your Trojans are coached by Jody Martinez. He's assisted by Natalie Young.
So the Trojans have the normal starting 5 that we've gotten accustomed to seeing here the last couple of, or actually for practically the entire season. The seniors all make their 29th start of the year in the 29th game. Aubrey Wright, Lacey Garrett, and Kendall Bradbury. They have played in every game they have been eligible for. Actually, let me change that. All 3 of those young ladies have not missed a single game in their college careers. Abby Books and Becca Books round out the starting 5. Kiana Stoll coming off of a career-high 25 points on Wednesday. She gets to start at one of the guards. Cameron Hostetler, one of the other guards. Local product Veronica Drake from nearby Marion High School, who had 19 points in Wednesday's win over Huntington, also starts as well. It's a 4-guard lineup for first-year head coach Dan Davis, with Brooke Sugg rounding out the starting 5, and Brooke Treadway is the only front court player for the Lancers. Taylor comes in a program best, number 8 ranking in the country, program best 16 straight wins. They're 24-4, and a win today gives them the top seed in next week's Crossroads League tournament. The ball tapped to the near sideline. Sugg will snatch it away from the pestering Garrett, and we are underway here from Odell Arena. Gray starts with the ball. They go from right to left in black with red numbers and red letters trimmed in white. Hostetler to left side circle. Drake backpedals, got away with the travel, goes in, throws one over right, missed, tapped by Bradbury, and she'll save it on the baseline for Taylor. A quick attacking try there for Grace, and it comes up empty. Taylor left to right in white with purple letters and gold numbers trimmed in purple. A 3-2 zone defense here for Grace B. Books, who is dominant from 3, and she hits another one. That's her 87th made 3-point basket. She is barreling down on the single-season record of 103, and that should make Grace snap out of that 3-2 zone quick as B. Books gives Taylor an early 3-0 advantage. Bradbury comes to help on Hostetler, who wheels around the arc. A low bounce pass out to Sugg with Abby Books trailing her. Weave up top. Bradbury comes, almost collided with Drake. A bounce to the corner, and Hostetler, she'll fire from three. That glanced off the back rim. Nobody able to get it for Taylor, and it's snatched away by Veronica Drake of Grace. Garrett guards her in the man-to-man. Drake trying to back her down mid-post left. To the corner and Stoll. Right defends her in the man-to-man. Treadway not ready for it, catches it with her chest, and then kicks it outside to Stoll. A little confusion here for Grace in this second offensive crack. Sugg up top with 9, around a Treadway screen, bounces to her, over Bradbury, and she'll swish it, and she shot that one from her ear. Treadway had to get that one off with the shot clock dwindling, and she'll swish it. And Taylor's lead down to 1 at 3-2, and Grace will go to the full court press, which gave Taylor some issues when they met back earlier this season. But Garrett able to break it by herself easily. Abby Books near sideline, the ball spun around the arc to Aubrey Wright, high left side. Wright wanted to go to B Books, who then cut down the baseline, so Aubrey holds on to it, now gets it back. She'll drive on Sugg, out to Bradbury, open for a 3, and she hits her first one of the afternoon, and Bradbury 6 away from the Crossroads League all-time scoring mark. 6-2 the Trojan advantage. They're 2 of 2 from downtown to start, and they lead by 4. Just over 2 minutes in, Sugg drives, she'll whip it up top to Stoll with B Books defending her on a height mismatch for Books. Moving screen Treadway as she leaned into B Books. First one on Treadway, first one on Grace, and Taylor gets the ball back. They're 2 of 2 from the floor, a B Books 3 and a Bradbury 3 for the first 6 Taylor points of the afternoon, and they lead by 4. Again, full court press put on by the Lancers. Wright will try to run away from Hostetler. She'll swing it far side, a high pass that Garrett is able to haul in. Jump stop with 2 defenders around her, skips over the head of Garrett, does right to A Books. She'll fling it near side to twin sister Becca, who drives with the right hand. Wanted to go to Bradbury. She'll fling it up top. Here's Abby Books for Taylor's third 3 of the afternoon. And it's a 3-for-3 start from downtown as Abby Books gets in on the fun from downtown. And Taylor leads 9-2. 2.5 minutes in. There's Wright with a back tap, and it's smacked out of there as Hostetler tried to shimmy around her. A picture-perfect start for the 8th-ranked Taylor Trojans. 3 of 3 from long range, and they lead Grace 9-2. Hostetler to get it in, far side Sugg, a catch-and-shoot 3 that barely glanced off the near side rim, but the ball bounces away from B Books. Sugg got it back, and she'll miss a right-hand floater. Treadway muscles in, and she's got all 4 of Grace's points here to start in the contest. Grace 0 of 3 from downtown, and Taylor's lead down to 5. And here's Grace again with the backcourt with a full court press. A Books to the near side, and Garrett she'll maneuver to the middle across the center jump circle and brings it to the front court with a left-hand bounce. She'll whip it to the near sideline, and Abby Books a 3 over a defender, and there's Taylor's first miss as that one was off target left from the right wing. Still a 9-4 Taylor advantage. Stoll back to the trailing Drake. She'll pull up from a long 2 straight on, off the right side of the rim, and Aubrey Wright hauls in the miss for TU. Here's Abby Books out and galloping. She'll go right in on Drake, throw it in and get the foul as Drake couldn't smack it away from Abby Books. An aggressive move from A Books, who goes in through the contact of Drake, who got plagued by foul trouble when these teams clashed back in January. 11-4 the Taylor lead. Abby with the last 5 in a row for Taylor. And now make it 6 as she hits the first freebie. Abby, one of the best free throw shooters in the country at 89%. And Taylor on a mission this afternoon, and they've come out clicking on all cylinders. They've hit 4 of their first 5 shots, and they lead 12-4. With 6:30 remaining in quarter number 1. Sugg to the corner. Hostetler fakes a pass down low to Treadway, who has all 4 of the points so far for Grace. Here's a hedge on Bradbury. Drake has to turn around. She'll kick to the corner and Stoll. A catch-and-shoot 3. Good from the left corner. First triple for Kiana Stoll. A long pass up the floor that B Books is able to haul in just past the jumping Drake. 12-7 the Taylor advantage. They've led the entire way, jumping out to a 6-2 lead. Garrett up top. Grace back in this 3-2 zone. Interesting move with Taylor going 3 of 4 from 3, and Garrett hopped with it as she caught the ball from straight on. That's an interesting move from Grace head coach Dan Davis. His team has given up 3 threes so far. Taylor's 3 of 4, and they still want to sit in that 3-2 zone. They are making the conscious effort to not let Kendall Bradbury beat them this afternoon. But when you have sharpshooters like the Books twins and Aubrey Wright on the outside, that might make Grace have to slide out of that zone sooner than they would like. They'll run the weave up top to the Lancers. Hostetler around a Drake screen high middle. Spinning right side. She's bumped on the shot, and she'll go in, and the foul was on one of the 3 seniors that were down there on the block against Taylor. And Aubrey Wright, the guilty party, her first one against Taylor, and that will send Hostetler to the line for 2. 12-7 the Taylor lead. Hostetler trying to get on the score sheet here this afternoon. Her first one rolls off the rim. Excuse me. Hostetler just a 69% free throw shooter. She's the 5'1 freshman from Archbold, Ohio. Taylor's assistant coach and former stud Cassidy Wise, a graduate of Archbold as well. Hostetler makes the second, and that draws Grace back to within 4. And then she'll body Aubrey Wright. She has her arms in the air, but she kept moving her feet as Wright has the right, no pun intended, to that same spot on the floor, that same piece of real estate. Hostetler's first, as Grace again goes to the full court press. They'll fling it up. Bradbury looks for it over her shoulder. Treadway back. Bradbury will shoot a short little shot over. It's missed. The ball's tapped out of bounds. It goes off the leg of Abby Books, and it goes back to the Lancers of Grace. 12-8, the Taylor lead. 5:42 remaining here in quarter number 1. The closest Grace got was at 3-2. And Taylor's been dominant from 3. They're 3 of 4. Grace just 1 of 3. Hostetler goes in, and then Aubrey Wright's a thief and just takes it right in front of Hostetler's face. She'll drive and kick. Here's a B. Books 3-ball in transition, and Becca Books rattles it home. Second triple for Becca, and Taylor up 15-8. Hostetler goes in. Garrett will rip it out of her hands, and it stays here with Grace, but a fantastic defensive play by the senior Lacey Garrett. 7-point Taylor advantage, 5:21 remaining here in quarter 1 on senior day. They'll bring the mop out to mop up some perspiration, and that'll allow Hostetler to deal it in from the baseline to the left of the basket, to our left. Gets it inside the arc. Stoll will dribble, and she traveled with it with no one really defending her. Third turnover against Grace. Dan Davis, the first-year head coach, not happy, screaming at his team on the sideline across from us. B. Books bullets one up far sideline to Bradbury. She'll try to break the press, and Grace quickly scampers back to the defensive end. The ball spun around the arc with Wright left side of the floor. Top of the key, B. Books back to Aubrey Wright left side. Down low, Bradbury. She'll just get right away from Treadway and lay it in with the left hand. Left side of the hoop. 5 for Bradbury, 4 away from that all-time Crossroads League mark. Drake drives, throws up a prayer that missed. Treadway, taller than everybody, goes up, and she gets fouled on the arm by Lacey Garrett. First on Lacey, second one against Taylor here in the quarter. Grace already with 3. And that'll put Treadway to the line for a pair, where she's shooting 70% this season. Grace is a team, a good free throw shooting team at 71%. And that one hits off the front rim on a straight line hard. 17-8, the Taylor lead. This 9-point margin, their biggest of the afternoon, with 4:56 to go in quarter 1. Treadway's second. Nope. Front rim again, hits the floor. Garrett will rip it away in traffic. 3 defenders around her, couldn't get it to the intended target of B. Books. That's a double dribble, and it's blatantly missed from the near side. And then Drake's rattling in 3 is no good. That's a terrible call. It was a clear double dribble that was not called by our officiating crew here this afternoon. Taylor's able to avoid any trouble. They lead by 9 with the ball. Wright looks Bradbury's way, trying to stop the 3-2 zone. This is one way to solve it, and Becca Books is white hot. 3 of 3 from downtown. That's got to make Dan Davis get out of that zone sometime. And Taylor up 20-8 on 9 first quarter points from Becca Books. She's outscored Grace by herself. Stoll misses a 3 from the back iron. Tapped into the air by A. Books, and she'll haul in the miss. Here comes Becca running the floor, left sideline to Garrett. She'll maneuver to her right. Jump stop, pitch it back to Books with Sugg right in her grill. To the free throw line, Bradbury with 5. Nice little one back down to Abby Books, who just misses a left-hand turnaround off the back heel. Less than 4 to go here in quarter 1. Taylor on fire to start. They're 7 of 9 from the field and lead 20-9. Drake with a jump stop, kick out far sideline, Sugg. Now Garrett will switch to her on the man-to-man D. Left side 3, Hostetler rolls it in from the near side arc. First field goal for Hostetler, she's got 4. As Wright will bring it up near sideline. Taylor leading by 9, 20-11. B. Books, right side circle. She's 3 of 3. And let's make it 4 of 4 as Becca Books is on fire. 12 first quarter points for B. Books. She's outscored Grace by herself, and Taylor leads 23-11. Stoll free throw line jumper to answer. Around a big screen by Treadway. Taylor with a double-digit lead, right, too high for Bradbury, and it sails out of bounds. And that gets a standing ovation from the Grace bench across from us. Subs aplenty coming in here. 1 for the Trojans. Lauren James in for the first time for TU, replacing Aubrey Wright. Sydney Huffman in as well for TU. She spells Garrett. Stoll, Treadway, and Hostetler out for Grace. Lauren Godfrey, who put 18 on Taylor when these teams squared off in January, checks in for the first time, along with Lexi Minix and Kaylee Warble. So the only starters to remain out there, Sugg and Drake, the top two scorers for Grace. Godfrey, left side arc, dribbles to the top. Bradbury switches on a screen. Far sideline to Sugg with 14 to shoot. Down low, no one found Warble. And Sydney Huffman did all she could. She fouls her on the arm, and that'll send Warble to the line for 2 free throws. Taylor got caught napping on a screen and roll. Warble was wide open on the right block, and Huffman will make Warble earn these from the free throw line, where she's a 64% free throw shooter. 10-point Taylor lead. First one from Warble. Swished. Warble, a 6'1 sophomore out of Ligonier, Indiana, and she'll make both clean. Good-looking form for someone with that 64% free throw shooting percentage, and Taylor's lead down to 8. The Trojans break the press with James taking it for a jog on the left sideline. She'll float it back up to Abby Books, then back to James high left side. Again, Grace in this now 2-3 zone. James will drive around, jump stop, trying to pitch it back outside. She's tied up from behind. James keeps it. She'll throw it off the foot of Warble, and Taylor will keep the ball here. 2:40 to go in the first. Taylor up 23-15, trying to wrap up a Crossroads League regular season title with a win this afternoon. Here's B. Books, this one from the parking lot, and when you're shooting it like Becca Books, you shoot it wherever you catch it. 15 for 44 in white, and it's all Becca Books as she has matched the scoring total of Grace by herself. It's Becca Books 15, Grace 15, and the Taylor Trojans with 26. Sugg throws up a prayer that rolls in as she flung that one on a hook. And that's the type of game that Sugg has. She will make some crazy-looking shots go. She had over 40 in a game earlier this season for the Lancers. Drake smacks the pass away from Huffman and then kicks it in and lays it in. First bucket for Veronica Drake. 2:03 to go here in the first. Taylor's lead down to 26-19. And again, here's James. We'll pitch it back to B. Books in the backcourt. Pass too tall for Huffman, and that's back-to-back turnovers for Taylor. Their 5th one here of the opening half. Or the opening quarter, I should say. And James and Huffman exit, and Garrett and Wright back in for TU. 1:52 to go in quarter number one. Taylor up 26-19. They've gotten a little sloppy with the ball on the last 2 possessions. Godfrey slows it down. She'll dribble between the circles. Far sideline to Sugg with Abby Books trailing her. Back to Godfrey, near side of the floor. Behind the back dribble to get away from a double team. Warble left block to the corner, and Drake. She'll fire from 3 and swish it from the right corner. That's 5 in a row for Veronica Drake, a 31% three-point shooter. And Taylor's lead, which was once double digits, is now down to 4 at 26-22 with 1:20 remaining here in quarter number one. Abby Books skips to Becca. She's 5 of 5 from the floor. That is her first miss off the back iron. Tapped out of there. Garrett's able to snipe it away from trouble. Aubrey Wright, high left side. Bradbury claps, gets it to tie the record. No, a corner 3, no good. And Warble will tap it to herself for Grace. An opportunity for the Lancers with a 3 to tie their closest deficit of the afternoon. Drake drives and she'll miss a runner. And Bradbury will have it. Good D there by Garrett to deny an easy layup there from Drake. She'll try to ride Garrett to the front court. Lacey maneuvers away. B. Books back to Wright, rips away. And that's a reach-in foul against Lexi Minix of Grace. It was close to a travel on Aubrey Wright, but she was able to rip the ball away before she traveled or she put her foot on the floor. Abby Books out. Meredith Deckard in for TU. With 49 and 4/10 of a second to go in quarter number one. Taylor led by as many as 12 and as many as 15, I should say, at 23-8. Since then, they've been outscored 14-3 in that stretch. They lead by 4 here. Bradbury in the corner. Double team comes. Ball knocked out of her hands. It goes off of Bradbury's head and out of bounds. She looks back to one of the officials trying to get a foul call. That will not come. 6th first quarter turnover for the Trojans. Just 3 for Grace after they had a sloppy start. And with 42 seconds left, Grace has the ball from right to left in black. They trail 26-22. They've been as close as 1. And that was way back at 3-2 to start the contest off. Drake tries to take Garrett to the hoop. Hand off to Sugg. Free throw line with Decker trailing. Long 2 rainbows off the front rim. Dances off. Bradbury has it, and she's fouled on the Minix bump, and she can't believe it. That would be Minix, not Bradbury. Second on Minix. 5th one against Grace, and that'll send Bradbury to the line for 2. She's got 5 first quarter points. And that's the 5th foul of this quarter against Grace. And we got free throws on the other end. Bradbury knew it. B. Books knew it. Taylor head coach Jody Martinez knew it. And then everyone else got back on the same page as those 3. So Bradbury with 5. Needs 8 to tie the league all-time scoring record, 9 to break it. So she can get 6.6 and 7 right here. First one from Kendall. Off the back of the rim, too strong. Her grandpa Jim is here, and Jim would like to welcome Uncle Jack from San Jose, California, watching today. A whole slew of Bradburys here. Her brother Spencer, her twin sisters Revan and Riley, mom and dad both here as well. Bradbury missed the first. She'll switch the second. And she's got 6 points, 9 away from the record. Taylor leading by 5. Shot clock turned off with 21 seconds left to go in an exciting quarter number 1. The only downside to Taylor's first quarter play is there's 6 turnovers. Kiana Stoll back in for Grace, and she'll dribble time away here with 10 to go in quarter 1. Her feet on the left edge of the center jump circle. Bradbury walks out to her. Stoll to her right, get away from Garrett. Right block, throws one off the glass, spun no, hits the ground hard. Deckard running with it. She'll throw, won't get a chance to let one fly just before the end of the opening quarter. Grace head coach Dan Davis screams at our officials for a foul he was looking for on the other end. 1 quarter play in the books. Taylor led by as many as 15. They lead by 5 in the break, 27-22 here on the Trojan Sports Network. Story that opening quarter was Becca Brooks with 15 points, 5 of 6 from the floor, all from 3. But the Trojans saw their once 15-point lead dwindle down to 4. They lead by 5 as we start quarter number 2. They go from left to right in white. They'll look at the 3-2 zone here of Grace in their black uniforms. Right to the corner in B-Books. Stoll closes out on her tightly. Right up top to Garrett, fumbling with it. Back to Aubrey Wright. She'll fire from 3, and that one long off the back of the rim. First shot of the afternoon for Wright, and Warble has the rebound for Grace. They go from right to left with Warble, Stoll, Hostetler, Drake, and Sugg. Top of the key, pull-up jump shot. Front rim, no. Bradbury rebound, yes. Her 5th of the opening half. Grace just 8 of 19 in the opening quarter. To the corner, here's Aubrey Wright. Try number 2 from 3. That one's long from the left corner. And it's hauled on the weak side by Stoll. Here comes Grace out and running. Hostetler jump stop, Euro around Garrett, and she got into Garrett's arms and gets called, and Garrett will get called for the foul. Second one on Garrett. That's a tough one for the Trojans today. Lacey, one of their better ball handlers. That's her second personal foul. And that will send Hostetler to the line for 2. Her second trip there today. The first one, no. Barely got to the front rim. She's now 1 of 3 here this afternoon. Hostetler just a 69% free throw shooter on the year. Hostetler's second one. This one perfect right through the middle. She's got 5. That's our first scoring of the second quarter, and the Taylor lead down to 27-23. Left sideline, Garrett. Sugg trying to defend her. Garrett wheels away, and Sugg gets called for an arm bar, and that sends head coach of Grace, Dan Davis, screaming once again. First on Sugg, first one against Grace. A lot of alums in the building today. Taylor Degenkolb, now Taylor Dye. And Emma Bratton, now Emma Wolf, after they got married the last couple of years, both sitting down in front of us. Bradbury corner 3, that one off the back of the rim. B-Books tried to tap it out. Taylor starts 0 of 3 from downtown after making their first 5 of the contest. And then there's an Aubrey Wright rejection. Now she'll wheel up the near side of the floor. Wright looking for help. Jump stop. She'll find the trailing B-Books. Fakes the pass. She'll fire from 3. That one off the front rim. Short, and Warble has the rebound here for Grace. Becca hit her first 5 threes of the afternoon. She's missed her last 2. And that one would have been a big one. It could have given Taylor a 7-point advantage. 90 seconds into quarter number 2, the number 8 Trojans, winners of 16 straight. A win today gives Taylor the number 1 seed in next week's Crossroads League tournament, and they're just their second regular season Crossroads League title in program history, lead by 4. Drake drives, off-balance runner, spins off, tapped out of bounds. Where is it going? It's going back to Taylor. Drake just 2 of 8 to start from the floor. Just 5 points for their second leading score at 15 a night. The starters back on the floor for the Trojans, as B-Books will get it in on the baseline against the full court press of Grace. Left sideline, Garrett, she'll go for a run. Sugg trying to cut her off. Garrett wheels away from the help of Stoll. B-Books a jump stop, back to Garrett. Left sideline, Abby Books. She'll drive baseline left, got into the air, and she'll step on the baseline as Stoll was moving her in. Abby looking at Becca Books, Abby Books looking at Becca Books and Aubrey Wright, wanting one of them to be in the corner. That's where she wanted the pass to go. They were up just a little bit high. And 2 minutes into quarter number 2, Grace with the ball from right to left. They trail by 4. They've trailed the entire way. Drake up top, right sideline, Sugg, down low to Warble. Double team comes, kick out near side, Kiana Stoll. That one off target left. And Aubrey Wright snatches another rebound down for the Trojans. Aubrey with 3 already. She's got 6 first half assists already and no points. Abby Books high left side between the circles to Wright. Looking for help, picks up the dribble, now off to Garrett. Mid-post right, Bradbury trying to go up and under on Roble, pitching back to the lane. Wright has a jump stop and she'll dribble out of trouble. Still time on the shot clock with 10. Left sideline, B-Books drives on Drake, jump stop. She'll angle around Warble, but throw it off the glass and nothing else. Both teams cold, no field goals to start, just 1 free throw. Stoll drives deep into the paint, back out to Sugg, near side high. Right-hand dribble, right-hand floater league logo, and there's our first field goal of this second quarter. Sugg's second scoring. She's got 4, and the Taylor lead down to 2. Closest Grace has been since they trailed 3-2 early on in the quarter 1. B-Books trails. She'll pass up an open 3 to the paint and Bradbury. She'll bulldoze against Warble and miss a left-hand shot, and then a foul on a cheap foul called on the bump on the other end by Abby Books. That was a soft foul called against A. Books. Garrett out, Netzley in, with the Taylor lead down to 2 at 27-25. As Jamie Netzley makes her first appearance here of the afternoon. So it's Netzley along with the other 4 starters, Aubrey Wright, Kendall Bradbury, and Abby and Becca Books. Grace counters with Veronica Drake, Cameron Hostetler, Kiana Stoll, Pam Miller, who makes her first appearance of the afternoon, and Brooke Sugg. 3-0 the lead for Grace here in the second quarter. Kick out, Hostetler 3, swished. And there's the first lead of the afternoon here for the Lancers of Grace. 8 points for Hostetler. Taylor trailing now 28-27. They have not scored since that free throw by Bradbury late in quarter number 1. An 8-0 start for Grace here in the second quarter, and they've taken their first lead. Bounce pass to B-Books out near the volleyball line. Taylor getting sloppy here, just 7 turnovers for the Trojans, just 3 for Grace. Abby Books to the corner. B-Books has 5 threes of the afternoon. Halfway down, it kisses off the glass and give B-Books 6 3-point baskets. And just like that, the Trojans back in front by a deuce, 30-28. Stoll cannot answer with a 3 on the other end, but Pam Miller comes in and gets the ball away, and then back to Stoll, who lays it in. 7 for Kiana Stoll, and our game knotted at 30. 10-3, Taylor's been outscored here in quarter 2, with 5:49 to go before halftime. Wright will jog forward, jump stop to Abby Books, high right side. Back up top to Wright, left side high to B-Books. Sugg defends her. Wright looking Bradbury's way in the paint. Here's Bradbury. Nice cut down low. Aubrey Wright, one dribble to set herself, and she'll lay it in with a right hand. Beautiful give and go. Bradbury on the assist, and Wright with the finish. Taylor back in front by a deuce. Hostetler wheels to the other end, off to Drake, around a screen. Down the right side lane, no one defends her, and she'll throw a prayer off the glass. It was tapped off the backboard by a Trojan, and then Wright will bounce it up to Abby Books. She'll fumble with it, and she cannot gather her feet back underneath of her as Abby dribbled the ball with the heel of her hand. And it rolls off, and she gets called for the travel. Eighth turnover against Taylor here in the opening half. Stoll exits for Grace. Who comes in? Logan Godfrey plays on their men's team. 5:10 to go here in quarter 2. Taylor's been outscored 8-5 here in this quarter. They lead by 2, and they'll stay that way as Drake misses a shot. The ball tapped away from Bradbury by Drake. And it goes off of Netzley's hands, and it'll remain here with Grace. Becca Books has been the story so far. She has 18 of Taylor's first 32 points. Bounce pass to the right block. Pam Miller fumbled with it, got it back. Ball tipped, and she traveled with it in the paint as she tried to find help. Turnover number 4 against Grace here in the opening half. Taylor's turned those turnovers into 2 points. Bradbury to the middle of the floor, backcourt to Netzley. She'll jump stop and wait for everyone to run by her. Here's Aubrey Wright dribbling to the top. 2-3 zone run by Grace. They've done this the entire day, even though the Trojans have hit 8 threes of their 15 tries against them. They want to make sure Bradbury doesn't beat them this afternoon. B-Books fakes the 3 and Sugg got right her on the hands and shoved her. That's one of the easier foul calls we'll see all day. Second one on Sugg. And the second one against Grace here in the quarter. So Sugg's got to exit. She's their leading scorer on the season at 17 points a contest. 4 for her in the game so far. Stoll comes back in to spell her. Taylor from left to right and White leading by 2. They've led by as many as 15. Nice find. Netzley left block B. Books, who lets Godfrey fly by. And Becca Books has got 20 first half points. In case you're wondering, her career high is 27. Taylor leads by 4, 34-30, and a good bounce back after they saw their lead erased and trailing by 1. Godfrey right sideline, jump stop, finding help. Far sideline, Drake, a 3 over Bradbury. No. Rebounded by B. Books in the paint. Drake 1 of 3 from downtown. Taylor trying to build on their 4-0 lead. They're on a 7-0 burst or a 7-2 burst. Here's Abby Books all alone for a 3. Got it. Nothing but nylon for Abby Books. 9th triple for Abby Books, and the 11th, and the almost 10 combined from the Books family themselves. 37-30 the Taylor lead after a slow start to the quarter. Taylor cooking now, and Godfrey rainbows in a long 2 from the right side of the floor. She had 18 off the bench when these teams squared off in January. There's her first 2 of the afternoon here. Taylor's lead down to 5 at 37-32. 3:30 to go here in quarter number 2. Right up top, 2-3 zone, corner, B-Books, fakes and drives, a baseline look. Right around the arc with a right-hand bounce, picks up the dribble, and now off to Abby Books. Back to the left side, high and right. 9 to shoot, now 7 to shoot. Wright will go right down Main Street. Kick out to an 18-foot right wing. Netzley's jump shot, no. And Bradbury's got the rebound. And she just tied Natalie Young for the most points by a single player in Crossroads League history. Taylor back in front by 7. Next bucket by Bradbury gives her the record. Netzley with a kick, and the ball pass deflected out of bounds. Brooke Treadway back in for Grace. Pam Miller exits. So 8 points for Kendall Bradbury. Well, not the best shooting afternoon, just 3 of 7. But the next point, however Kendall gets it, will give her the most points by a single player in Crossroads League history. Massive confusion there between Stoll and Hosteller. They both were standing right there at the volleyball line, and then Hosteller takes almost lost it on another right steal. 8 to shoot, Grace, and then Stoll almost traveled it. Then she'll throw it away to Abby Books, who's off to the races. Drake trailing, fouls her, and Abby Books will lay it in, but there's no foul called. 5 in the corner for Abby Books. That would have been Drake's second. And Taylor leads by 9, 41-32, with 2:35 remaining here in quarter number 2. Drake between the circles of the left corner, and Stoll had to jump to get the pass, and she'll save it into Godfrey. High right side, Drake, 1 of 3 from the afternoon from 3, and now 1 of 4. And another rebound is Aubrey Wright's. She'll wheel up the floor, stop in the backcourt to the near sideline, and B. Books. She'll throw it across the timeline to Aubrey Wright, who will jog in, jump stop. Here's Becca Books, who can't miss this afternoon, except right there as it's off the left side of the rim. 6 of 9 from downtown is B. Books. Drake with a miss, and she'll wheel up the floor. To Hosteller in the corner, a catch-and-shoot 3, misses everything, and then some. As Netzley has the rebound for Taylor. Up the floor to Wright. She'll go in around Hosteller, miss it, but Hosteller's called for the foul. That's Hosteller's second. A minute 58 to go here in quarter 2. Second one on Hosteller, third one against Grace. And Aubrey Wright to the line for 2, an 80% free throw shooter who almost had her first career double-double on Wednesday in the win over Grace. She'll rattle out the first free throw here. Had 9 assists at Aubrey to go with double-figure scoring. Lexi Minnick's in for the first time in the second quarter for Grace. She replaces Hosteller with those 2 personal fouls. 9-point Taylor lead after trailing 28-27. They've outscored Grace 14-4. And Wright will make the second free throw. 3 points for her. And Wright will come out, and she'll be replaced by her senior classmate, Lacey Garrett. Taylor back in front by double digits. They got outscored 6-0 to start this quarter off. They trail 28-27. Since then, they've taken control back, and they lead by 10 here. With 1:45 to go before halftime. Taylor slides into a 2-3 zone of their own. First time they've gone to the zone all afternoon. Godfrey caught with Bradbury right in her grill. She'll fling it up top to the volleyball line, and Drake. 7 seconds to shoot. Drake around a Treadway screen. Pulls up, jump shot, league logo, short rim, no. Bradbury has it, and Treadway will get called for the foul as she went through Bradbury to try to get the rebound. Second on Treadway, fourth one against Grace here in the quarter. 1:29 to go in quarter two, and the Taylor lead at 10. Treadway out, Warble in here for Grace. B. Books will get it in the backcourt. Grace applies full court press. She'll bounce it to Abby Books, then back to Becca Books, and then far sideline to Garrett. She'll put her head down and wheel up the far side. She'll run away through 3 defenders. She'll flip it back outside to Becca Books, but Drake collapses and B. Books can't get a shot off. Nice individual effort there by Garrett. She'll spin at the free throw line, keeps that left hand alive. Nice little pass down low, but B. Books couldn't convert, and the ball tapped around and finally hauled in by Lexi Minix of Grace. She'll fire it far sideline to Stoll, back to the trailing Godfrey, traced off the arc by Abby Books. Minix crossing over to her left hand, down the lane, will bounce in the corner to Godfrey. She'll fire from 3, and that one will be missed long. Abby Books tapped it, and B. Books corralled it. Here's Garrett looking Bradbury's way, fires it to her. Bradbury spins, pitching back to Netzley in the paint. Bass tapped away. Here's B. Books from the left side high to Netzley. Will back away, back outside the arc to B. Books. 35 seconds left to go in quarter two. Taylor leading by 10. Abby Books will go cross court to Netzley, tapping baseline to B. Books, and then Treadway will kick that one to the second row. She almost hit someone's grandma with that one, and thankfully Nana was able to avoid that flying basketball. Make that Warble who booted that one. I think the Lady Lancer soccer team might have a new player to come in for the fall. 15 to shoot. B. Books catches near the volleyball line and spills it out to Garrett. Netzley, high right side, cross court to A. Books. A contested 3 over Stoll. Front rim, no. B. Books has it back to the cutting Abby Books. Free throw line out, and Taylor can hold for the final shot. Bradbury back up top to Abby Books, with 13 seconds remaining here in our opening half. Taylor will hold for the final shot. Next bucket by Bradbury would give her the Crossroads League all-time scoring record. Netzley open for days, won't pull the trigger. Free throw line, Bradbury, no. Rebound, B. Books, yes, right before the horn. So Becca Books finishes with 22 first-half points. And Taylor, after trailing by 28-27 at the beginning of the second quarter, they lead by 12 going to the locker room. We'll come back with the BSN Sports Halftime Report after this here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student-athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 6 different levels of membership for you to choose from. You can join for as low as $100, all the way up to the athletic director level for $1,500. Each level receives premiums, complimentary season tickets, as well as gifts from the athletic department. Members also receive special recognition during halftime of the annual Silent Night game. In recent years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics, like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-5311 or log on to athletics.taylor.edu and search Trojan Club. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University's student athletes. Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
The Taylor University campus store, with their innovative textbook butler delivery service and name brand Taylor apparel and gifts, supports the Trojans year-round. The campus store, powered by Tree of Life Books, is a proud corporate partner of TU Athletics. It's easy to find something to show off someone's TU pride with 2 campus locations, one in the Dome and one in the campus center near the food court. The store is also open 24/7 at taylorcampusstore.com.
Play that old song! You really want her to play it. That's what's really going to evoke the memory. You gotta have the music that you listeners to listen to.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center, a proud corporate partner of Taylor University Athletics.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Back here inside Odell Arena, this is Rick Johnston with you. This is the BSN Sports Halftime Report, and at the break, it is number 8 Taylor, winners of 16 in a row. A win today gives them at least a share of the Crossroads League regular season title, and more importantly, the number 1 overall seed in next week's Crossroads League tournament. They lead at the break 44-32. The Trojans trailed 28-27 as they got outscored 6-0 to start the quarter off. They outscored Grace the remaining part of the stanza at a 17-4 margin. The Trojans led not by Kendall Bradbury in that opening half, but by Becca Books. She had a game-high 22 in the opening half, 8 of 13 from the floor, 6 of 9 from 3. Becca made her first 5 three-point shots, and she has a game-high 22 points. Her sister Abby has got 11, so the Books surname has got 8 made threes here on the afternoon. Abby with 11, Kendall with 8, Kendall Bradbury with 8. And the next bucket or point, no matter how Kendall gets it, we'll give her the Crossroads League all-time scoring record. Came in now tied right now with Natalie Young for most, her assistant coach Natalie Young for most by a league player in Crossroads League history. And one more point will give her the record. Aubrey Wright with 3 points in the opening half. She also has a game-high 6 assists and has 5 rebounds. Kendall Bradbury with 7 rebounds for the Trojans. And that is it. Only 4 Trojans scored in that opening half. Lacey Garrett, Meredith Deckard, Lauren James, Haley Stratman, Jamie Netzley, and Sydney Huffman all played, but did not score for TU in the opening half. For Grace, they were led by Cameron Hostetler, who had 8 points. Both of her field goals were 3-point shots. Kiana Stoll, coming off that career-high 25 on Wednesday, has 7 in the first half. Brooke Treadway with 4. Veronica Drake, their second leading scorer, has 5. Brooke Sugg, their leading scorer, limited to just 4 in the opening half. Sugg and Drake combined to go 4 of 18 from the field in half one. Lauren Godfrey and Kaylee Warble each with 2 points off the bench. Pam Miller and Lexi Minix both played but did not score. We'll take a break, come back with the second half of Taylor and Grace here on Senior Day. We'll have the Senior Day ceremonies coming up between the women's and men's games coming up here in the near future. This is Taylor Women's Basketball on the Trojan Sports Network, and this has been the BSN Sports Halftime Report.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments, in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Second half underway. At last check, Taylor up 12 at the break. Marion, if they lose today, they would fall to second. If Taylor would win, and the Trojans would get the outright league title. But the Trojans 20 minutes away from wrapping that up. Drake rails right into Lacey Garrett, and that's the easiest charge call you're going to find as Garrett does a somersault backwards. Drake just put that shoulder down and barreled into her. That's the second one on Drake. And we played 7 seconds here in this third quarter. And it's already an offensive foul and a turnover against Grace. Taylor gets their first crack at the basket. They go from right to left and White. Their 5 starters are out there with Garrett, Wright, Books, and Bradbury. 3-2 zone here for Grace. Their 5 starters back out there as well. We'll set the lineup on the fly. To the corner, Bradbury for the record. Got it! Kendall Bradbury just became the new Crossroads League all-time leading scorer with a 3 from the right corner. And there's a dead ball, and there's a nice job by Grace head coach Dan Davis. A 30-second timeout to acknowledge the accomplishment by Kendall Bradbury. Her family gives her a standing ovation. And Natalie Young, the young lady that she passed, clapping right now. Here's the ovation.
With 11 points tonight, Bradbury passed Natalie Young from a career scoring record, tallying over 2,685 career points. Let's hear it one more time for Kendall Bradbury.
What a classy move there by Grace head coach Dan Davis. He didn't have to take the timeout. You know how Jody Martinez, the head coach of Taylor, likes to hoard his timeouts. But a classy move there by the Grace first-year head coach Dan Davis. He mentioned something. Looks like he wished Kendall good luck during the starting intros today, so not surprising that he would do that. Sugg cannot answer with a right wing three, and Bradbury will rip down a rebound of her own. Up the near side of the floor, Abby Brooks and Taylor leading 47-32. Less than a minute in here to our third quarter. 3-2 zone for Grace. Abby Brooks drives. She'll pitch it outside to B. Brooks, who had a game-high 22 in half one. Wright catches it on the high right side. She'll fire a three and hit it. Aubrey Wright with a three ball. 6 points for Wright to go with her 6 assists and 5 rebounds. 50-32 the Taylor lead as they've hit back-to-back threes to start the third quarter off. A minute and 15 seconds into the third stanza. Grace will spin it, Stoll to the corner. Her long three tried to bank it in. Drake will smack it high in the air. She runs into one of her own teammates, but she'll be able to haul the rebound down and keep it in Grace's favor. Stoll drives. Drake had her back turned, and Stoll gets called for the timeout. Stoll looked like, or excuse me, Drake was just walking on the far side of the floor, had her back turned to the play. And now the athletic training staff of Taylor will go and take a look at Veronica Drake. You hope she's okay. She's a fantastic player. Pam Miller will come in to spell her. Wright pitching it back, and then Trojans will spin it around to the near side and break the full court press. A 6-0 Taylor start on a Bradbury career record-breaking three, and then Wright with a three of her own. She catches high right side, right-hand dribble. They had Bradbury at the free throw line, but couldn't get it to her. How about Wright dialing up a second three? That one glanced off the bottom of the rim, but Abby Brooks is there to lay it home. Abby with 13. 3 Trojans in double figures. And so only 4 different Trojans have scored. Stoll will draw the blocking foul on Bradbury on the baseline left. First one on Kendall. First one against Taylor here in the quarter. Hostetler will get it in. Out to Sugg, far sideline. Head faking a three. Pulls up. A little floater off the front rim. Ball tapped out of there. It looked like it went off of Garrett. They'll say last touched by Pam Miller of Grace. So Miller replaces Drake, who takes a seat back down on the bench, so it looks like she is okay. And then the referees will converge, and they'll change the call, and they'll say it'll stay here with Grace. They'll say that it was Garrett, the one who tapped the ball out of bounds. Hostetler on the baseline right, floating it all the way up top, and Miller finds it over her shoulder. Hostetler, left side circle, thought about a three, goes in. Wright will back tap it out of there, and it'll go off of Hostetler and back to Taylor. They'll say it went off the knee, and the baseline referee overturns the official on the near side of the floor, and this one will go back to the Taylor Trojans. 7:50 remaining in quarter three. Taylor up 52-32. It's their biggest lead here of the afternoon. Pass in the backcourt. Sugg tapped it and stole it. Reverse layup, an air ball, and Becca Brooks has yet another rebound. Then Hostetler comes in weak side and takes it away from Wright and puts it in for 2. Hostetler with 10. She's the first double-figure scorer for Grace. And the Trojans break the Grace press with Garrett on the right side of the floor. Abby Brooks calls for it, gets it to the corner in Bradbury. She draws a double team like she has her entire career. Quick ball moving. Becca Brooks, a leaning three, and there's Becca's career-high tying 7th three-point basket. 25 for B. Brooks, and Taylor clicking right now. They lead 55-34. Hostetler weaving, scooping, and kissing it off the glass as she slalomed through defenders. Hostetler with all 4 of the points here in this third quarter for Grace. Garrett drives a 2-on-3, baseline tiptoe. Aubrey Wright passes up a 3. Abby Brooks won't. She'll pull the trigger and swish another one. Third triple for Abby Brooks, and just like the start of the first quarter, the third quarter starts with a barrage of threes from Taylor. 58-36, the Taylor advantage. Open Hostetler, right corner 3, and she'll switch that one in. Hostetler 3 of 4 from downtown. She's got all 7 of the third quarter points here for Grace. And the Taylor lead trimmed down to sub-20 at 58-39. B. Brooks has got to get it in, and Taylor will get a timeout just before the 5-second call came. It'll be a full Taylor timeout taken by head coach Jody Martinez. 6:27 remaining in the third. The Trojans have outscored Grace by 10 here in this third quarter so far. Or excuse me, make it 7 in the third. And they lead 58-39 here in the third quarter.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
.6:27 to go here in the third. Full court press put on by Grace. Their 5 remains the same with Drake after taking that shot to the head. Bradbury throws one over the timeline and is easily caught on an interception by Brooke Treadway as Taylor tried to break the press with a full court fling. Hosteller catch and shoot 3 Sugg from way downtown. That one hits the basket short and then bounces up off of the shot clock. Sugg 0 of 3 from three-point range today, just 2 of 8 from the floor. She and Sugg have combined to go 4 of 23 from the field today. They're the top 2 scorers for Grace. Taylor leading by 19, 58-39. They've led by as many as 22 here this afternoon. Grace slides back into their 2-3 zone. Abby Brooks up top between the circles to Garrett. Grace has made a conscious effort to not let Bradbury beat him, but Garrett finds Kendall, who goes right down the lane and banks it in with a right hand. 13 for Kendall Bradbury, and Taylor leads 60-39. That's all. They stay in that zone with 13 made threes by the Trojans. Hosteller missed a right corner 3, got her own miss, and now Grace will reset with Sugg attacking, and now maneuvering to the right side, and Garrett will get called for the reach-in. That's Lacey's 3rd, and she'll have to probably be exiled to the bench for the foreseeable future. Brooke Treadway out for Grace. Kaylee Warble back in for the Lancers. So Garrett will stay out there. She's got to be careful. The only one in foul trouble for either team with the 3 personals. And Sugg will hand off to Stoll. Abby Brooks trails her on a switch. Stoll maneuvers and throws up a floater. And she had to shimmy through a couple different defenders. 9 for Stoll. And that brings Grace to within 19, down 60-41, with 5:20 remaining here in the third on senior day for the Taylor women's basketball team. Far sideline, Abby Brooks between the circles to Garrett. As Grace will go back to a 3-2 zone this time, much like we've seen the Trojans run for the last almost 2 seasons that Jody Martinez has been their head coach. 7 to shoot. Right, skipping far sideline. Abby Brooks, her 3 will miss off the right side of the rim, and it's Brooks Sugg with the miss for Grace. She'll wheel up the left side of the floor, bullet 1 to Stoll, a catch and shoot 3 on the way, and she'll swish it. Just the second made 3 of the afternoon for Kiana Stoll. She's 2 of 7 from three-point range, and back-to-back buckets for Grace has brought them to within 16. Full court press by the Lancers. The Trojans trying to break it. Garrett will maneuver across the timeline. Had Sugg on her back and was able to get away from her. Right, far sideline as Taylor shoots on the basket to our left. Here's a catch and shoot. Aubrey Wright 3, and she'll hit another one. Second 3 of the afternoon for Aubrey Wright. She's got 9 with 8 assists and 5 rebounds as she closes in on potentially her first career double-double. 63-44 the Taylor lead. No one will get Hosteller, who comes step backs and hits a 3. Hosteller with 10 here in the third quarter for Grace. She's got 18 for the Lancers. And again, the teams trade 3s here, and the Trojans lead 63-47. Two-three zone for Grace. Right, high right side, holding the ball over her head. Back to Garrett between the circles. Back to Aubrey Wright with 5 to shoot, with 4 to shoot. Garrett will wheel it into Bradbury. Fade away, Jay. Right rim, no. Hustling for it was Abby Brooks, and it'll be last touched by her, and it will go back to Grace. Veronica Drake back in for Grace. That's a good sign for the Lancers. She's back in there with Lexi Minix. Lauren Godfrey back in. And Olivia Pearson makes her first appearance of the afternoon for the Lancers after not playing in the first half. That leaves just Kaylee Warble on the floor right now for Grace. No changes to the Taylor 5. Drake left sideline around a Minix screen, but Wright able to trail her. Drake drives in, throws up a right hand. It'll just roll off the rim. She'll tap it out of the hands of one of the twins of Taylor, and Drake gets her own miss. Just 2 of 14 from the floor today is Veronica Drake. Grace with the ball, down 63-47. Warble inside position. She'll turn around and bank one with the right hand over Bradbury. Second field goal for Warble. She's got 4 points, and a quick little burst here by the Lancers have drawn them to within 63-49. Garrett wheels, and they'll work it around to Abby Brooks. Was ready to fire away from three. That ball slipped in her hands, and she's able to recover and get it back to Garrett. 2-3 zone by Grace again. They've gone predominantly zone pretty much the entire afternoon. Abby Brooks, high right side, back between to Garrett. Near sideline right, skipping to Abby, to Bradbury down low, muscles in, left-hand scoop. She'll go falling down to the floor, and Kendall will go to the line for two. Foul not on Warble. It's on Olivia Pearson, her first. Second one against Grace. That'll put Kendall Bradbury to the line twice. First one for Kendall, good. She's got 6 in the quarter, 14 in the game. I'd also like to wish a welcome to Chris and Stephanie Geyer, watching their little sister Kendall break records and hit free throws. She makes both. 7 for Bradbury. And Taylor up 65-49 with 2:38 remaining here in our third quarter. Grace from left to right in white. Grace from left to right in black. Taylor defends man-to-man in white. B-Books guards Drake, left side arc, picks up the dribble and fires one with 2 hands up top to Godfrey. Behind the back dribble to her left hand, will swing it around to Minix. Against right, spinning in Minix with a right-hand drive. Bank shot, no. Minix gets her own miss, but it'll be an offensive foul against Minix for going over the back on Aubrey Wright. That's the third one on Lexi Minix. She's the first Grace player to get into foul trouble with 3. And again, the Lancers will put on the full court press. They trail 65-49. Taylor with the ball. Floating it to the near sideline is Books to Garrett. That's Abby to Lacey. Then Abby gets it back. She'll pick up the bounce, and then Taylor sets it up around the arc. 2:07 remaining here in quarter 3. Taylor up 65-49. Garrett, a no-look pass to the near sideline. They'll swing it around back to Wright. Garrett up top. Back to Aubrey Wright. Fakes the 3 with 9. Pulls up. League logo jump shot. Might have been blocked. Ball tapped around, and Taylor unable to gather it in. It's Minix's of Grace. To the left sideline. And Godfrey, she'll get it back. She'll fire a 3 over Wright and hit that one. First 3 of the afternoon for Lauren Godfrey. She had 18 when these teams played back in January. Then she's got 5 now, and the Taylor lead, which was at 20 for a considerable amount of time, is now down to 13 at 65-52. Double team in the backcourt, and a foul will be called against either Pearson or Godfrey as they got within the cylinder of one of the Books twins in the backcourt. Second one on Pearson, fourth one against Grace. With 92 seconds remaining here in quarter number 3, Taylor will again get it in from the backcourt with Grace applying pressure. Wright steps through 2 defenders, and now she's off to the races. One hand bouncer to Garrett. And now she'll back it out with the left hand near the volleyball line. Grace will slide back into their 2-3 zone. They're clad in black. Taylor in the home whites. 1:18 to go here in quarter 3. Taylor up 65-52. Garrett wanted to go to Bradbury in the paint. Instead, Aubrey Wright fires a 3 and hits it. Third 3 of the afternoon for Aubrey Wright. She's got 12, 8 assists and 5 boards. And now there might be a foul to go with the triple from Aubrey Wright. And it will be a foul against Kaylee Warble. And that'll be the 5th one against the Lancers. So Warble gets called for the off-ball foul as Wright buries a 3. And she fouled Bradbury, so Kendall will go to the line for 2, as that's the 5th one against Grace here in the third. So Kendall to the line for 2. First one up, and perfect. She missed her first free throw of the day. She has not missed since. She's made 4 in a row. Kendall with 16 on the day. And 17 as it hits the front rim and gets the roll. 9 here in the third quarter for Kendall. If you missed it, her 3 to start the quarter off. Gave her the league all-time scoring record, passing assistant coach Natalie Young. Drake comes, pass tipped by Wright, intercepted by B-Books. Turnover number 9 against Grace here on the afternoon so far. The Trojans have turned it over just 3 times here in the second half. Shot clock and game clock about 30 seconds apart, as Garrett will look into the 2-3 zone of GC. Near sideline, B-Books for her 8th 3, and she'll lead it in from the left side arc. Becca Books, a new career high in three-point makes and a new career high in single-game scoring with 8 threes and 28 points for the junior out of Angola. And Taylor up by 21, 73-52. Godfrey fakes, drives around B-Books, outside to Pearson, who will measure a three. That one will spin off, rebounded down low, Minix of Grace, off-balance shot, no, tapped around, out of bounds. It'll stay here with Grace. .14 6/10 of a second remaining in quarter number 3. A win this afternoon by the Trojans would be their 17th in a row. As Grace will bounce it into Drake, a win by Taylor would also wrap up a share of the Crossroads League regular season title and give them the number 1 seed in next week's league tournament. Drake storms down the lane, barrels in, and that's a charge against Veronica Drake. Her third, and that's another time that Garrett has baited her into an offensive foul. Drake started this third quarter off by shouldering Garrett down, and now Lacey draws the charge on Drake. Taylor with the ball in the backcourt, leading 73-52, 3.9 to go here in the third. Up to Bradbury with 2, runner at the horn, banked it, oh, it almost banked it home, did Kendall Bradbury. A nice quarter by Kendall with 9 in the third stanza. We head to the fourth. Number 8 Taylor leads Grace 73-52. 10 minutes away from a regular season Crossroads League championship and the number 1 seed in next week's league tournament.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
Just 4 players have scored all day for the Taylor women's basketball team. It's Becca Books leading the way with a career-high 28 points and 8 made threes. Kendall Bradbury with 17, Abby Books with 16, and Aubrey Wright with 12. And there's actually only been one other shot taken by someone not by those 4. It was Jamie Netzley. That's all the scoring today, but Taylor leads 73-52 as we start quarter number 4. Inadvertent whistle, as our shot clock and game clock are not in sync. You need it to be when you start the quarter off. The Trojans have their starting 5, Abby and Becca Books, Aubrey Wright, Lacey Garrett, Kendall Bradbury. Grace counters with bits and pieces of their starting 5, 4 of their 5 starters out there. In Kiana Stoll, Cameron Hostetler, Brooke Sugg, and Brooke Treadway. Pam Miller gets the start here in the fourth quarter in place of their starting shooting guard, Veronica Drake. It's been a rough day for Drake and Sugg. The top 2 scorers coming in for Grace. They combined to score 32 points combined a game. They have just 9 today on a combined 4 of 23 shooting. Everything's reset with the clock and game clock and shot clock, and away we go to quarter 4. A win today by the Trojans secures the top spot in next week's league tournament. Becca Books to Abby Books in the near side wing. Between the circles to Garrett, free throw line Bradbury. She'll storm in, throw it in with the right hand, but she'll throw it up with the right hand and miss it. But she'll go to the line twice, drawing a foul on Brooke Treadway. 9:37 to go in the fourth. Bradbury goes to the line for 2 here. Kendall 17 points, 8 rebounds, 5 of 12 shooting, 2 of 5 from the floor, and now 5 of 7 from 3 as she misses the first one. Kendall's having her best season shooting the free throws this year at 86%, and she'll swish home the second. 18 for her, and Taylor scores first here in this fourth quarter. They lead 74-52, 30 seconds in. Stoll trying to shake away from Aubrey Wright, who's had another stat-stuffing afternoon. Hostetler between the circles, up top to the cutting Sugg. Back, pass almost intercepted by Abby Books. Hostetler gets it back. She'll fire from three. That hits everything except the bottom of the glass. And Lacey Garrett will snatch it away, and now she darts up to the front court. She'll wheel around and wait for the help. And that allows Grace to slide back into their 2-3 zone. They've been in the zone all day, despite Taylor shooting 57% from three and knocking down 16 three-point baskets. They've outscored Grace, the Trojans have, by 24 points behind the arc today. Far sideline, Abby Books, floating it into right elbow Bradbury. Left-hand dribble on Treadway. To the near side arc with three to shoot. Garrett tucks that shoulder, throws it off the glass, and Lacey Garrett will bank it in on senior day. Fifth different Trojan score today. First two for Garrett, and Taylor up 76-52 with 1:20 gone in quarter four. Stoll between the circles. She'll stop and pop from three and swish it. Stoll 3 of 8 from downtown. She's made her last two tries. After a slow start for her, she's coming off of a 5 for 6 three-point shooting performance on Wednesday for her career-high 25, but Taylor has kept her quiet today. The Trojan lead down to 21, 76-55, as they break the press, attacking the basket to our left. This place very quiet, almost like it's a packed practice. You can hear everything that head coach Jody Martinez says across from us. 2 minutes into quarter number 4. Bradbury tried to fire a catch and shoot three. Miller denied it, finding B. Books down low, and then Books will go to the line for two as Bradbury threaded the needle through. It's on Kiana Stoll of Grace. That's her first and the second one against the visitors here in the fourth. And here's Becca Books to the line as she tries to get her first 30-point game of her career. Needs them both here. And the first one, too strong off the back rim. On her first trip to the line today, and she has had a splendid year, has Becca. Treadway out, Drake in for Grace. Second free throw to come for B. Books. She's had more points, rebounds, field goals made, three-pointers made than she did in her first 2 seasons combined. And Becca's got 29 as she swishes the second. Miller exits for Grace. Olivia Pearson comes back in. It's a 30-second timeout for the Lancers. We will keep it here.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center, a proud corporate partner of Taylor University Athletics.
Five Trojans have scored, 4 in double figures, no one with less than 12 from the double-figure scores. Grace out of their own 30-second timeout. The handoff to Drake. She'll go down the line, bumps with right, and she'll get the bounce, and they'll count the foul, or give the foul to Aubrey Wright. That's Aubrey's second. Just the third made field goal by Drake this afternoon. She's 3 of 15, has had really a struggling time trying to get going here this afternoon against the Taylor D. And that's actually the very first scoring for Drake since the opening quarter. And she'll complete the three-point play. And Taylor's lead down to 77-58. Taylor almost gets it away, and a block by Pearson on the near side. That's her third. The Grace fans that sit down below us, upset. They want to charge. It won't come. That's Pearson's third, and the third one against Grace here in the quarter. Now, what you don't want to have happen if you're Grace is you don't want to put Taylor back in the bonus. They're the second best free throw shooting team in the country. They outscore opponents by 6 free throws a game. Right far sideline as Taylor shoots on the basket to our left. They reverse the ball to the near side, and Abby Books. So holds it over her head. Flings it far side to right. Plenty of time to shoot as Taylor works it around the arc. Back to right. Fakes a three. Kept her feet on the floor. She'll drive. Pitching back to Bradbury. Lost it. And Lacey Garrett will snatch it up with 8. Right sideline to Aubrey Wright. Driving with 7. Here's Abby Books. A 3 on the way. No. Aubrey Wright gets the rebound. That's her 6th. And Taylor will reset. Aubrey trying to get that elusive double-double. She had almost got it on Wednesday at Grace with 9 assists. She's got 12 points, 6 boards, and 8 rebounds, and 8 assists right now. She catches right side arc, looks at the baseline, back up top to Garrett. Touch pass into Bradbury, down low, B. Books had it away, tapped out of bounds by Stoll, and it'll stay here with Taylor. Nifty little find there from Bradbury to B. Books. 10 on the shot clock as Wright will get it in on the baseline to the left of the basket. To our left, Up top, Bradbury, catch and shoot three. Good, and there's 9 assists for Aubrey Wright. Third triple of the afternoon for Kendall Bradbury. She's got 21, and Taylor up 80-58 with 6:46 to go here in the fourth. Hosseller shimmying, scooping, throwing one wildly off the glass, and Kendall Bradbury has rebound number 9. Garrett will slow it down. Another stat-stuffing evening for Aubrey Wright. She did the same thing the last time the Trojans were on this floor when they defeated Indiana Wesleyan. She's an assist away from her first career double-double. Free throw line, Bradbury, baseline to B-Books, tapped out of there. Taylor didn't go after it, and Stoll will pick it up and run up the far sideline for Grace. She'll get all the way into the paint, stop, and heave one up at the league logo that's missed. Tap to Wright, who hauls in rebound number 7. She picks up her dribble, double team, pivots back. Drake knifes in and takes it away from B-Books. Then Becca taps the ball out of bounds, and it'll stay here with Grace. Head coach Dan Davis of Grace across from us screams for a foul against B-Books. That won't come. 80-58, the Taylor lead. 6:02 to go in the fourth. Taylor trailed once at 28-27. Just to start off the second quarter, they haven't trailed since. Suggs floater, no good. Drake tapped it, it goes out of bounds, and it'll go back to Taylor. Grace shooting below 40% this afternoon. Taylor at 55%. They're 57% from three, and they're an uncharacteristic 70% from the line. That's 11 percentage points below their season average. Full court press by Grace. Garrett will just run away from all of that trouble and easily make it to the front court with that strawberry blonde ponytail bouncing with every step. 5:45 to go in the fourth. Taylor up 80-58. Here's Garrett, left wing, right-hand dribble on Pearson. Got underneath the hoop. She'll thread one through. Too far for B-Books, who taps it back in bounds. Here's Stoll with another steal to the left sideline. Hosseller goes in, left-hand shot, threw it off wildly. And then Drake will get called for the reach-in on Aubrey Wright in the backcourt. Fourth one on Drake, fourth one against Grace here in the third. With 5:29 to go in the fourth, Taylor with the ball leading 80-58. Right near sideline. Double team comes in the backcourt. To B-Books, to Abby Books, and then to Garrett, who runs away to the front court. She'll pivot back and work it back out near the timeline. Well, Aubrey Wright is flirting with a triple-double, folks. 12 points, 9 assists, 8 boards. Bradbury up top, Garrett. Back outside, Bradbury fakes a three. Right-hand floater from the free throw line, and she'll get the roll. Kendall with 23. And Taylor up 82-58, just past the halfway point here of quarter four. Outside, Pearson, three from the right wing, short and right. Ball loose on the floor. No one gets it for Taylor as one of the Books twins fell out of bounds. Hosseller's three halfway down and out, and Becca Books has rebound number 6 for the Trojans of Taylor. With 4:40 to go, and an offensive foul, a moving screen against B. Books of Taylor. Second one against the Trojans here in the fourth. Haley Stratman comes in to replace Becca Books. First time we've seen Stratman since the opening half. And now a whole line change of subs come in here for Grace. 5 on, 5 off. Melissa Goss makes her first appearance of the afternoon. Godfrey back in along with Minix, Miller, and Warble. As Sugg, Treadway, Drake, Stoll, and Pearson all exit for Grace. Grace with the ball down 82-58. They led once at 28-27 on a 5-0 start to the second quarter. There's an Aubrey Wright block and a Kendall Bradbury rebound for Taylor. Right sideline, Garrett. Less than 4.5 to go here in quarter four. Aubrey Wright, 1 assist away from her first career double-double. Holding on the right side. Back to Garrett. Left side high to Books. That's Abby. Back to Abby Books. She'll catch and shoot a three from the high left side, and rainbow at home. Fourth triple of the afternoon for Abby Books, and she's got 19, and Taylor up 85-58. As they look well on their way to their second regular season Crossroads League title in school history. The first one was back in 1996. Last year, the year of firsts, their first national tournament appearance in forever. First time beating different opponents. Stratman with the block, the ball found Miller's hands, and she puts it up and in for her first points of the afternoon for Grace. Right in the backcourt, picks it up and will bounce to Abby Books. Right sideline to Garrett as she works it to the front court. 3:38 to go in the fourth. Taylor with the ball up 85-60. But a win today by the Trojans would give them at least a share for the Crossroads League regular season title. High pass from Abby Books. Wright able to haul it back in. 9 to shoot. Right side high to Books. Here's Wright driving left hand with 5, with 4. Needs to find some help quick with 2. Stratman will just not get it off. She'll scoop it in. But that was a bad half-court possession there for the Trojans. Sydney Huffman comes in. She replaces Lacey Garrett. A standing ovation for one of the 3 Trojan seniors. So we'll see how long they'll leave Aubrey Wright in there to try to get not only the double-double, but potentially a triple-double as well. She guards Goss up top. This isn't the first time that Aubrey has flirted with a triple-double this season. Miller goes in up, another block from behind by Bradbury, and then a late foul call will go against the All-American and the newly minted all-time Crossroads League leading scorer. James at the scores table. Minix to the line for 2 for Grace, with 3 minutes to go in the fourth, down 85-60. And it remains that way as Minix will miss the first one. James comes in to get Aubrey Wright. So there's a standing ovation for Aubrey Wright. She'll finish 1 assist and 2 rebounds shy of a triple-double. 12 points, 9 assists, and 8 rebounds for Aubrey this afternoon. Minix will make the second for her first point of the day. And it's 85-61 Taylor. Kiara Nieto will jog to the scores table. That means she has one more senior left to go get. Far sideline, James back to that senior in Bradbury. Huffman to the near side of the floor in Stratman. Taylor with the ball up 85-61. With 2:40 left, shot clock down to 10. Right elbow Stratman. Huffman around to Abby Books. Will fire from 3, and she'll swish another one home. Back-to-back made threes by Abby Books. She's got 22. She's the 3rd Trojan to get over 20 today. They've only had 4 or 5 players score, 4 in double figures. And here's Kiara Nieto to come in and get Kendall Bradbury. So 2,700 career points for Kendall Bradbury on that last bucket. Meredith Deckard in. She gets Abby Books. A standing ovation for one of the best players you'll ever see in the Crossroads League, Kendall Bradbury. 88-61, the Taylor lead. Brielle Wilson in for Grace. Goss drives, misses it, but she was fouled as she was sandwiched between Stratman and Huffman. 2:16 to go here in the fourth quarter. Fouls on Haley. That's her first. 4th one against Taylor here in this fourth quarter. Goss to the line for 2. These are her first free throw attempts of the season. And she will make it, getting the roll, hitting off the front rim. Rachel Montgomery makes her first appearance of the afternoon for Grace, replacing Kaylee Warble. And Taylor with 2:16 left, leading by 16. I think all of our polls have reported. And I think we can confirm that Taylor will be the #1 seed in next week's Crossroads League tournament. Goss misses the second free throw. All Taylor had to do was win today. And they're going to do that. They trailed 28-27 after giving up those first 5 points, or first 6 points, of the second quarter. They took the lead back on a 3-point try, and they haven't looked back since. The game was tied again at 30, and then after that, it was all TU. Out to Deckard. She'll pass open 3. Abby and Becca Books, one of their friend Meredith to pull it. 7 to shoot with Meredith dribbling with that left hand. Into Nieto. Outside James, a 3-ball. She'll get one to go. First bucket of the day for Lauren James. That's the Trojans' 20th made 3 of the day, and that's a new program record. 20 made 3-point baskets by the Trojans today. And a foul on the floor. And Taylor up 91-62. Taylor had tied the scoring or the 3-point mades record twice this season, in the season opener, then a couple weeks ago against Huntington. But that 3 by James, the 20th made 3-point basket for Taylor today. And that's a new program record. James and Stratman exit. Kayla Kirtley and Madison Fisher in for the Trojans. So it's a day of just things falling all over, of new records being set. And Minix will make both. 91-64, the Taylor lead with 95 seconds left. Grace continues to apply some lighter pressure in the backcourt. Deckard will wheel back from trouble to her classmate Kirtley. Huffman fakes to her left, goes to her right. She'll just get across the timeline, but a low bounce pass will go out of bounds as Deckard goes falling into her own teammates. So we've got Kendall Bradbury breaking the Crossroads League all-time scoring mark. Check. Becca Books, a new career high in points with 29. Check. New career high of made three-point baskets of 8 for B Books. And the Trojans as a team break the program mark for made threes in a game with 20. Minute 12 left, 91-64. An air ball from Goss. Ball kicked out of bounds. Wilson tried to save it and could not. Remember, folks, to stay tuned right after our game is done for the Senior Day presentation for both the women's and men's teams before the men take on Grace at 3 o'clock. So Taylor will win today. The only question is what the final score will be. They're going to win their program best extending 17th straight game. Huffman's low pass lost out of bounds by Kirtley. The one bad thing for Taylor today is the polo shirt across from us by head coach Jody Martinez comes untucked. They've had 18 turnovers today, have the Trojans. With 55 seconds left, Miller fakes, and now she'll dribble with her right hand. Got to the free throw line, back out to Goss. A catch and shoot rainbow three is an air ball. Kirtley has it weak side, and Minix will get Kirtley on the arm, and Kayla will go to the line on the other end for 2 free throws, as that puts the Trojans in the bonus, 5th one against Grace here in the quarter.
Your Trojans are in the bonus for the remainder of tonight's contest. At the line, number 30, Kayla Kirtley.
So the Trojans are going to win a share of just their second Crossroads League regular season title in school history. That came back in 1996. They won the tournament back in 98. As Kirtley switches the first free throw. The damage done today by 4 Trojans. They had 3 and 3 above 20. Becca Books with 29, Kendall Bradbury 23, and Abby Books with 22. Kirtley's second free throw hits hard off the back rim, tapped out. Kayla gets it, lost the ball, it's loose on the floor. Kayla still dives for it, but Miller will take the ball away from her. And up the floor from left to right comes Grace. Pitching back, Minix, a transition 3 off target right. Huffman dives in there. The ball will stay here. They'll say that Huffman took Goss down to the floor as she tried to rip the rebound away. Could not. Second one on Sydney. And with both teams already in the bonus, 2 free throws upcoming for Grace and Melissa Goss. 32 and a tenth of a second left. Taylor leading 92-64. Goss 0 of 2 from the line today. Or going to make her 1 of 2, I apologize. And now 2 of 3. Second one from the sophomore Goss. Good. She's made 3 in a row. All 3 of her points from the line. Just about a second left between game and shot clock, so Taylor will either take a shot clock violation or they can just take a shot up at the horn. They're going to win today with the Trojans, 92-66, the margin right now. Again, they trailed 28-27. They were tied at 30 apiece early on in that second quarter, and then they just blitzed Grace in that second stanza. Decker to 3 to add to the career program best total. No. Kirtley, her classmate, gets it, and Taylor will dribble out the final few seconds here. The Trojans are going to win their program best 17th game in a row. They're going to wrap up the number 1 seed in next week's Crossroads League tournament and at least a share of the Crossroads League regular season title as Odell Arena rises to their feet to give the Taylor women's basketball team a standing ovation. So the 2 teams will come together at center court to pray. And we will take a look and kind of see where we're going to go with our Senior Day festivities. So they're going to pray down below us. We'll get into some of our post-game stats here momentarily. We do have one score we would like to check. 5:22 to go in the fourth quarter. Marion leads Indiana Wesleyan 58-49. But it doesn't matter. Taylor, with their win today, wraps up at least a share of the Crossroads League regular season championship. And they're the number 1 seed in next week's Crossroads League tournament. They also wrap up the first of what will be 2 automatic bids to the national tournament for the Taylor women's basketball, or for the Crossroads League in general. I think we're just about ready to go here for Senior Day. So the team's going to come together. They're going to take a picture. They're going to leave that scoreboard on as long as they can. A 92-66 win for the Trojans. They led 27-22 at the end of the quarter. In the first quarter, the Trojans were up 44-32 at the halftime. They led 73-52 at the end of the third.
In a few moments, we will be recognizing
we are just about ready to go here for Senior Day. So let's jump into our Ivanhoe's postgame show, postgame stats. The Trojans just had 4 in double figures all day, and for a long time, those are the only 4 players that scored for the TU women's basketball team. They finished with 4 in double figures, led by Becca Brooks's game high and new career high 29 points on a career high 8 made 3-point baskets. Becca today was 10 of 15 from the floor, 8 of 11 from behind the arc, and she went 1 of 2 from the line. Kendall Bradbury finished with 23 points. She had 15 in the second half, and with her 3-point basket to start off the third quarter, she broke the career scoring mark in the Crossroads League held by assistant coach Natalie Young. Kendall, 23 points, 10 rebounds. That is Kendall's 49th double-double of her career, and the 14th this season. Kendall 7 of 14 from the floor, 3 of 6 from behind the arc. She was 6 of 8 from the line. Other double-figure scorer, Abby Books had 22 points for Taylor today, 8 of 13 from the floor, 5 of 9 from behind the arc. So today, as an individual, the Books family, Abby and Becca, combined for more 3-point baskets made than Grace did as an entire team. The sisters had 13. Grace had 9 as an entire squad. Aubrey Wright flirted with a double-double for another time this season. Aubrey had 12 points, 9 assists, and 8 rebounds. Just narrowly missing her first ever double-double. Other scorers for the Trojans today, Lauren James, her 3 there in the fourth quarter broke the program mark for 3-point makes in the game. She had 20. The team had 20, breaking the old mark of 19, which they set twice this season. The 20 made threes ties the school mark for what the men's program hit 2 years ago against Great Lakes Christian. Lacey Garrett had 2 points, 8 assists for Lacey today, and that's a new career high for her. Lacey had 8 assists this afternoon to only 3 turnovers, and Kayla Kirtley had a foul shot. For Grace, they had 2 in double figures. Cameron Hosteller, 18. Kiana Stoll with 15. Their top 2 leading scorers, Veronica Drake and Brooke Sugg, combined for just 12 points. They average 32 on the season. They combined to shoot just 5 of 25 today. Taylor as a team shot 57% from the floor, 16 of 32 in the first half. They were 31 of 54 overall, 20 of 34 behind the arc for a blistering 59%. Grace, meanwhile, shot 34% from the floor, 32% from 3, and they were 11 of 17 from the line. Taylor was just 10 of 15 on foul shots today. So it looks like we are just about ready to rock and roll here for Senior Day. Taylor wins today. They are 25-4, surpassing the 24 wins by last year's squad that made it to the Sweet 16. Taylor's now will finish the regular season 25-4, 16-2 in the Crossroads League, 13-1 here at home, and they'll be riding a 17-game win streak heading in to next week's Crossroads League tournament, which will start here on Tuesday. And here is our Senior Day ceremony.
For their contributions to the women's basketball program throughout their time here at Taylor. Over the past 4 years, Aubrey Wright, Lacey Garrett, and Kendall Bradbury have helped the Trojans to 77 total wins, and the team's first trip to the MAIA National Tournament since 2010. The group has helped set multiple program records, including now 20 triples in one game, 8 wins against top 25 teams ask that they walk with their family members to center court to be recognized. We will start with Aubrey Wright. Aubrey is joined by her parents Robin and Teresa and her brother Tristan. Aubrey is set to graduate in May with a degree in exercise science. After wrapping up her time in Upland, Aubrey will pursue a doctorate degree in chiropractics at Logan College of Chiropractics. During her 4-year playing career at Taylor, Aubrey played in 125 games, starting 95 times, while making an all-around contribution with 619 points, 340 assists, and 144 steals in her career. Aubrey has recorded career highs this season with 188 points, 59 field goals, and 120 assists. Ladies and gentlemen, Aubrey Wright. Next is Lacey Garrett. Lacey is joined by her parents Rex and Brandy and her sister Elizabeth, and is set to graduate in May with a degree in accounting and finance. Lacey will join Umlaw Advising and Consulting in Indianapolis following her graduation from Taylor. Lacey has played in 125 games, nabbing 55 starts in her 4 years at Taylor. The Crawfordsville, Indiana native served as a defensive-minded point guard for the Trojans, tallying 233 career assists. Ladies and gentlemen, Lacey Garrett. And finally, we have Kendall Bradbury. Kendall is accompanied by her parents Todd and Michelle, brother Spencer, sisters Revan and Riley, and grandfather Jim. Kendall is set to graduate in May with a degree in exercise science. Following her time at Taylor, Kendall plans to continue her basketball career overseas and eventually turn her attention to coaching. Through 4 years at Taylor, Kendall has started in 125 games and has averaged 21.4 points and 9.1 rebounds per game. Kendall is a 3-time NAIA All-American and 3-time All-Crossroads League selection and has set multiple program records, including 41 points in a single game, 810 points in a season, and now 2,700 career points. Today, Kendall became the Crossroads League all-time leading scorer. Former record holder Natalie Young will now present her with the 8 ball to commemorate this accomplishment. Ladies and gentlemen, Kendall Bradbury. Fans, please join us in giving one more big round of applause for our seniors, Aubrey Wright, Lacey Garrett, and Kendall Bradbury. as we thank each of them and their families for their contributions to the program throughout their time here at Taylor. Over the past 4 years, Evan Crow, Jake Hegelin, and Emmanuel Boateng have helped Taylor to 62 total victories, a 40-21 record here in Oval Arena, and 12 wins over top 25 opponents. The group also played a major role in TU's return to the NAIA National Tournament in 2017. As we read each individual's name, we ask that they walk with their family members to center court to be recognized. We will start with Evan Crow. Evan is joined by his parents, Melody and Tim, as well as his fiancée, Allison. Evan is set to graduate from Taylor this spring with a degree in sports management and a minor in business, and he plans to begin his career as a manager at Kinetics Energy and Motion in Cincinnati. During his 4-year career at Taylor, Evan has played in 119 games and started 83 times, while climbing to 34th on TU scoring charts with 1,246 points. Evan has been one of Taylor's most prolific outside shooters in program history, making 255 three-point shots in his career for the 5th best total in program history. Ladies and gentlemen, Evan Crow. Next is Jake Hegelin. Jake is joined by his parents Paul and Sharon and will graduate in May with a degree in accounting and international business. After graduation, Jake plans to return to Wheaton to work in the auditing field. As a 4-year regular for the Trojans, Jake has played in 123 games while starting 106 times and enters today just 10 points shy of becoming the 37th player in Taylor history to reach 1,200 career points. In addition to his 1,190 points in the purple and gold, Jake has grabbed over 100 rebounds and 20 blocks in each of his 4 seasons and boasts a career field goal percentage of 57.6%. Ladies and gentlemen, Jake Hegelin. And next is Emmanuel Boateng. Emmanuel is joined today by Rose and Harry Schaefer and his fiancée, Anna Hertzler. Emmanuel will graduate in May with a degree in Christian Ministries and a minor in Biblical Literature, and plans to work with a ministry in Lansing, Michigan in the areas of evangelism and discipleship. Since joining the program, Emmanuel has played in 37 games over the past 2 seasons, serving as an athletic post presence and talented rebounder off the bench for TU. He also excelled in the classroom, where he will earn NAIA Scholar Athlete honors later this year. Ladies and gentlemen, Emmanuel Boateng. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving one more big round of applause for our seniors, Evan Crow
So that will do it for our coverage of Senior Day here this afternoon. We're going to shut the women's broadcast down. We're going to get the men's broadcast ramped up. And we'll get ready to go for Taylor and Grace in men's basketball action coming up here in about 25 minutes here on the Trojan Sports Network.